Hello, my presentation is on Bosnia and Herzegovina. It is located in southern Europe. It is next to Croatia, Serbia, and Montenegro. Customs and religion. In Muslim houses, one must take off their shoes and put on a pair of slippers. It shows respect to the visiting family. When visiting someone's home, one must bring a small present. The host family is expected to serve a meal and refreshment. It is very important for the visiting person to take these offerings because it shows respect to the family. As religion, most of the population is not particularly observant, but religion plays a key role in national identity. Since there are three different ethnicities, the people use their religion as a form to identify themselves. It is less important in areas of mixed ethnicity, but very important in rural areas. Display of emotions. It is culturally and socially acceptable expressing emotions among people you know. However, expressing strong emotions among people you don't know, it's uncommon and unacceptable. So in public, people or couples holding hands, women walking arm in arm with each other, and sometimes men is very common for the culture in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The dress code, mostly everyone dresses in Western style clothing. Muslim women usually cover their heads with scarves. They are not as strict with their dress code as other Muslim countries. Traditional Serbian and Croatian customs include caps, white blouses, and very decoratively embroidered vests. And usually people can tell from which ethnicity you're from by the traditional clothing you wear. Gender roles. Bosnia and Herzegovina have a patriarchal tradition. Women are subordinate to men. Major emphasis on traditional role of housewife and mother. There's a very different status in women living in the cities. They have a higher status compared to the women living in villages. It can be considered to be a masculine culture. Men provide for the family, and women are expected to do all the domestic work. Men have high status, and it's harder for women to build a career. Nonverbal and verbal communication. People don't pay attention to personal space. So too much personal space can be seen as distrust or an authoritarian way of dealing with people. Eye contact is very important to them. It implies honesty and good intention. Touching is very uncommon when meeting someone for the first time. However, shaking hands with both men and women when greeting is customary. Men usually don't touch each other unless they know each other very well. And for the Muslim people, women cannot have any physical contact with a man unless it's her husband. But if someone were to give her or him his hand as a way of greeting, she has the choice to accept that greeting or not. And friends, they usually hug and kiss each other on the cheek. Bosnians and Croats, they kiss twice, and Serbs 3 times. The people in Bosnia and Herzegovina, they highly appreciate this proverb, which is smile opens the golden gate. So facial expressions are very important to them. It's customary to always have a friendly face at all times. The middle finger and waving a pointed index finger and pointing at someone is considered extremely rude and unacceptable in the society. And when speaking, It's best to use a normal tone of voice, definitely not too loud or too soft. If it's too loud, it shows anger and it's unacceptable to the community. So if an American were to visit, they would have to have they would have to know ahead of time the customs of like the different ethnicities, mostly for the Muslims, since they're mostly conservative, not as too much as other Muslim countries. They would have to definitely have to know nonverbal and verbal communication, since the people, they don't pay attention to personal space. It would be hard for an American to get accustomed to that, because we believe in our bubble, in our personal bubble, and we don't like people being all up in our face thing. So we would definitely, an American has to definitely get used to that. And eye contact, it's the same with an American culture. They highly believe in eye contact as well. And touching would be an important nonverbal communication to know, since we don't want to convey, we don't want to disrespect or convey a different meaning. So we would have to take that into consideration when visiting that country. And also, it would be very important for a traveler to know um, the proverb, smiles open a golden gate, because this means that we should always have a friendly face at all times. At all times. So it's important for um, an American to just always, have a friendly face, and not show negative facial expressions. And another thing would be pointing at someone, since we kind of, at least I do that most of the time. So it'd be important for someone who tends to do that to be careful with that, since it's extremely rude in Bosnia-Herzegovina. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you.